Anti-loop mini plank march. Pretty self-explanatory here. Call these a slow motion mountain climber, but actually there is a name for a slow motion mountain climber. It's called a hill climber. I had an older instructor remind me of that. I'd kind of forgotten about that one. So look, here's what's key here. I want to bring my knee to my torso, not my torso to my knee. So you see my spinal position is staying the same. Throughout, I always want to keep my feet about hip width apart. If you bring your feet too close together, the band's just going to fall right off your feet. And I'm really working on the strength of my hip flexion. You want to think of your hips just like you think of your shoulders. You wouldn't just work on one range and not the other range, and not the other range, right? So you want to lift up, you want to also lift down. You want to lift that way, you want to lift that way. We do that with upper body, it's standard. But when it comes to our hips, we often like to do a lot of things for extension, which would be like hip bridges. I know you don't have your hands down. We like to do things for extension. And we like to do things for abduction. But we often neglect adduction. And we often neglect hip flexion. For optimizing hip strength, function, and health long term, along with performance, you want to have strong hip flexors just like you want to have strong hip extensors, hip adductors, and hip abductors. Just like you would train your shoulders. All the ranges of motion that they're capable of. And if you want to look at the research, having strong hip flexors is definitely a good contributor to athletic performance, things like running speed.